Welcome to the Back 9 Six-Pack with Mitch and Justin. Let's roll.
Hello and welcome to episode 64 of the Back 9 Six-Pack. My name is Mitch, joined as always by my esteemed colleague Justin, and a special guest that really needs no introduction at this point, Andrew the Guenther. What's up, buddy?
Hey, happy to be here, fellas. We're all recovering from yesterday, and we're all happy to be here. I'm thrilled. It's an honor.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm happy to crack this one. I'm going to do it.
Fuck it. Let's do it.
Yep.
I didn't preemptively do mine. Oh, God.
Man.
Yeah.
The echo on that boy.
I thought there was nothing that rivaled a pop of a Miller Lite, but it might be the high noon teas.
Well, it's still the gold tops. They still have gold
Maybe
tops on them.
that's the key to a good pop is the gold top.
That 24 karat top, baby.
All right. Well, yesterday, second annual Guenther Seafood Boil. What? Take us there. How'd it go?
I don't know if we could have polished a turd any more than we did. It was a great day. Weather was a little warm, but the shade was there. Bill Guenther has done a phenomenal job of upgrading that. My father, Bill Guenther, has done a phenomenal job of upgrading that space. Really nice fire pit now.
It's awesome.
A great table set up for an actual seafood boil. You know, dump it right there on the table. For those that don't know, we have a bonfire. Bring a couple pots up, boil some water, and then we throw some seafood in there and have a nice Cajun low country boil up there, and some crab legs, some shrimp. Had some lobster tails in there this year, some andouille sausage, corn, potatoes, and then we throw in some other little goodies here and there that usually have a bunch of alcohol in it. So it's a good time. But yesterday, right as the water was getting ready to turn over into boiling status, Mother Nature reared her ugly head, and the sky opened up on us, and we had to move it inside, moved it indoors into the Guenther house, and still had a great time.
I was going to say I didn't, other than I was joking with you that I said that I could tell that it was not cooked over an open fire. I could not. It was still unbelievably good.
Yeah, it turned out, like I said, we made the most out of it, and it was good.
I've never seen you that flustered. Have you?
Yeah, I was going to say, I admire
flustered.
your perseverance because in the time that I've known you, I don't think there's not much that rattles you. You were a little rattled for a bit yesterday.
Way rattled, actually.
Yeah, when you throw in what was there? There were probably three kids under 3 that are out in a lightning storm, and you got to get them, down a hill. They don't walk too fast. They got little legs, and so we got to find a way to get them inside. And so, we took the tarp came off, and we were driving through the rain, getting people back inside. So it was good.
Yeah, I missed that scramble part of it. I was hydroplaning on 27 on the way out to your parents' house. That was a lot of fun.
I was busy coming down, I think, when you guys rolled up.
I was busy driving through the rain with no doors on my Jeep. So,
hey,
you got to figure
tragedy.
That. Yeah, I think you're a little too committed. You might need to dial it back on the Jeep.
No,
life.
my problem is I deem myself a professional meteorologist. I was right. I was spot on today. I said these storms are not going to get down to us, and they didn't.
You're just as good as the people on TV.
I mean, if I have a second career option, if things go awry, for sure.
Yeah. What's buying that much seafood for that many people?
Yeah, so it's we always try to buy in bulk. So made a trip to Costco. Costco, they had bulk shrimp. They had some bulk shrimp that we could do. That turned out great. Was expecting them to have a better crab leg selection. All they sell is whole crabs. Fun fact about Costco. Well, at least yes,
it's on brand.
Yeah, they sell the whole crab. They do not skimp on any part of the crab. And so we ended up making the pilgrimage over to Jungle Jim's, the real Jungle Jim's in Fairfield, Ohio.
Not that fake one.
Not the fake one out in Eastgate. And we're looking around. I pull my number. I was number 78, and the lady is just walking around in the back. There's a line of people. She's not doing anything. Chandler's like, well, I'm going to go. My wife, Chandler. Well, wife.
My wife.
My wife.
She goes out and is going to walk to do something else. And I see this lady and she's taking giant styrofoam wrapped things of crab legs somewhere. And I'm like,
Uh-oh.
I call Chandler. I'm like, hey, check out what this lady's doing. And she's like, oh my gosh, she has so essentially it's the runoff legs where they basically like, these are too many legs to get to a pound. So we're going to just cut those off. And it's just all little pieces, but it's still full crab legs.
Yeah.
And so it's $1 per pound cheaper. And when you're buying enough to feed 20 some people,
That's what you
those
do.
add up. Those add up. So that's what we did. Shout out to Jungle Gyms as always.
Yeah, they're top notch.
I'm a huge Jungle Gyms proponent. So yeah, it was really nice. Really nice. Things went well.
They did. Jumbo Shrimp. That might be the name of your autobiography, perhaps.
Maybe. That's such a good name.
It's elite.
It is an elite nickname. Right there.
Man, I meant to say bulk shrimp, by the way. It would have been way funnier.
Bulk
Damn
shrimp.
it.
Nah, bulk shrimp's pretty good
botched that,
too.
guys. Bulk shrimp's great.
Bulk shrimp.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. Please, if you're here, subscribe, rate, and review the show. Follow us on social media at Back96Pack. And a reminder, nobody texted us last week. I'm sad about that. So all 40
I was
50
told we were
people
going to get a
people-
couple, at least a couple.
I know. So if you're listening, please go down to the show description, shoot us a message, give us a take, ask us a question, whatever, and we'll talk about it here on the show. All right. It's Stampede week. Apropos, the boil happened the week of the Stampede. I was just saying before we jumped on, might be the new lead-in. I don't know. We'll see how the week goes. Maybe we're too bogged down with the seafood. I don't know. But it could have been could be the perfect Kickstarter for just an epic week for us.
Yeah, drink a bunch of beer, hit the reset button on Sunday before getting into the grind of Stampede week.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, the only thing that really slowed me down is the enormous amounts of trips to the bathroom. But I was out at the course today getting some practice in. Didn't slow me down there. It's impossible to practice when it's this hot out, though. Like,
Yeah.
dude, it is brutal. It's brutal. Temperature wise for the Stampede's looking pretty good. It's not gonna be 98. We like that. I like mid 80s. We can do that.
No, it's perfect.
Yeah. Weatherman Justin.
I'm not gonna say anything else about the weather until we get closer.
Justin Cantori over here.
I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah.
We've had some rainy Stampedes
I've only
to my first one.
I've only experienced rainy stampedes.
Yeah.
I've
I know
only,
no
yeah.
other life. Yeah.
Yeah. We're mutters, though.
We are mutters.
We are mutters. I mean, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's an advantage for us.
Oh my gosh, I could just bury both of you right now, but I won't do it. I'm not going to do it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I got my
I-
mutter
I
card.
I don't know how you
Yay.
could.
Well, it rained last year. Your mutter cards have been revoked. I talked to the Mutter Association. They've been revoked after last year.
I don't know. I got mine back at the PGA.
Nah,
this year,
yeah, you
so-
do. Yeah, it's you.
Oh no.
Gunther. That
I mean, look at the boil yesterday. This guy.
It's under review.
It's under review. All right. Well, for anybody listening who doesn't know what the Stampede is, it's basically our version of a member. A lot of people play member guests that go this way too. Quick breakdown of the format. So it's a flighted event. We've got 11 flights. Is that how many we have this year again?
Yep.
Okay, 11 flights. Or is it 10 flights? Sorry.
A whole bunch of flights.
Yeah.
10, I think it's 10 flights.
It is 10 flights.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so
they
10
talked about adding an 11th.
Didn't get enough teams.
No.
Yeah. So 10 flights. It's flighted by team combined handicap. They factor that in by your 12-month low index from the white tees at our course. And then for each of your 9-hole matches, you get 90% of that handicap for the dotting purposes. A lot of that, unless you've got like a big disparity between you and your partner, doesn't really matter because a lot of people you find in your flight will have similar handicaps, so it might be a shot here or there. Anyway, 6 teams per flight. You play 5 matches, each hole worth a point. So if you half, both teams get a half. Obviously, a win and a loss, 1 and a 0. And then you have each flight winner after those 5 matches will go on to the Stampede Shootout, along with an 11th team, which is a wild card team. The team
That's
scores the
where I
most
think you got
points.
the 11 from.
Yes.
Like you're thinking there's 11 flights. That's that wild card team.
Yeah, the wild card team, the most points on Sunday, they get in as well, which I think is a really cool wrinkle to it. Gives you something to keep playing for, right? If you're out of it after Saturday.
Well, and they want people in it because the last thing you want is people out there on Sunday like
Yeah.
I'm out of it and they're throwing matches for their buddies or, whatever.
Right. So our shootout is 4 holes. It goes from, we have a red, white course, hole 1 on red to red 9, over to white 1, white 9, cut down from 11 to 7 to 4 to 2.
Yep.
And then extra holes, which you experienced in 2020. You start back on red 1 and you just keep going through until a winner is determined. So that's kind of the format. Did I miss anything?
No.
Chip offs to break ties in the shootout?
Yeah, chip offs, break ties.
And it was funny, I was talking about that yesterday. It was like, when you win or make the finals, it's almost a guarantee you're going to get into one chip off. Almost a guarantee.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't know. It's funny. There was one group last year that made it through 2 holes without being in the chip off. And then the one hole they got in the chip off, they didn't make it past that hole. Yeah. But it's almost a guarantee. Like, you're going to have to win a chip off at some point.
Mm-hmm.
At some point.
How many did you have?
1, 2.
Yeah, we had 2 as well.
2.
It was on our first 2 holes. We had one on 1 red and 9 red.
Yeah. We had our first and third for us.
Yeah, we were 1 red, 1 white.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I do remember that. You know, it's funny. The last 2 years, your guys' year and last year, didn't go to extra holes. But the previous, 4 or 5 went to extra holes.
Yeah, because Tim and Cody, they had quite a few extra holes, right?
They finished on 2
same
red
as
as well. So what it does is it goes back to 1 red for extra holes.
Yep.
And then after that, it's 1 red, 2 red, 3. You just play the red side until someone ends up winning it.
Yeah.
And we finish on 2 red as well.
I think par 3s would get really, really interesting.
Well,
if it does get to that extra hole situation where
Yeah.
I can tell you this: the year that we won it, we got on 2T. One of the guys that we were playing against got a shot on 3, and we're like, it needs to end here, or we're not 140-yard par 3. He's getting a pop. My boy Bruce can whack it up on the green and 2-putt for a net birdie. So
and then you could. On 3 on that hole, don't you give one back?
I didn't that year.
Okay.
But now I do. So
think about that. You ace birdie
the tie.
to tie with Bruce.
But the extra holes are fun. I hope it's me at the end, but if it's not, I want extra holes this year. It's just way more fun. Gets a little more. You get more than 1 hole with 2 teams playing. It's exhilarating.
Yeah. Before we get more into it, run down on the schedule. Why not, right? Really, it starts with league night on Wednesday for us. I feel like that's we're kind of rolling in. You and Ryan have a match that day.
Yeah.
So you got a little bit of prep that way. Thursday, Champions Dinner. We're fortunate enough at this table to all be participating in that.
Yes, that is new this year.
Yeah, new this year.
I am going to kind of side with Xander Schauffele. I think that it's a little outrageous that we're being expected to show up and go to extra special events like this, and it's just going to be way too much for me to handle.
Yeah, that's why we never do the putting contest.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I'm here to win. This is a serious thing.
Yeah,
you guys are going to make me lose my fucking mind.
So from there, we roll into Friday. I know you and Ryan are playing in Scott's big money game.
Yep.
You get to pick your partner, right? 2-man best ball.
Yep. Well, yeah. Essentially, everybody's playing with their Stampede partner.
Yeah. Okay.
Same handicaps, all that stuff.
Which is a good lead into Saturday, which is your first 3 matches. We also do pari-mutuel betting, which is a ton of fun. Trying to hit the win play show for most points on Saturday, most points on Sunday. Which Sunday you have 2 matches. We do a 100-yard shootout as well. So on hole 9 white, which 2 years ago, I think I put it on the roof of the lodge. It was our first year playing in the actual shootout. And we were like, no one was letting us cut the line at first. I was like, dude, we got to get up here and hit. So I just whacked it. And it was 140 yards on 100-yard shots.
It's truly amazing when they do that shootout thing that it's the same people every year that are in the Stampede. And they're not letting people go.
I know, it's crazy.
It's the same people. I'm not going to call anybody out by name, but it's the same people every year. They're the first ones out there to hit. It's no, get out of here. Let the people in the shootout go first.
Yeah. I mean, in defense of, Sean and Bob and everybody that's running the thing, I get it. They've got to go dot cards and figure out, all of the stuff for the shootout. But it would be nice to have somebody coordinating.
There are voices of reason out there.
People would know.
There's a couple people that are get the hell out of here until all these people go, and then you can go.
Yeah, but then probably the most electric part if you're not participating in the shootout, is the behind the green bets.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hinkle and Jared. They usually spin up a little back of the green book, so to speak.
Yeah.
Set a few lines.
He's got a notebook out there.
Yeah, it's
every year.
great. Notebook and a pencil. And just taking, putting up lines, how many guys hitting the green, how many pars are getting made, all that.
And when you're in it, when you're in the Stampede and you know that betting is happening, and when you hit one on the green and the crowd erupts, it is the greatest. I hit one in.
You know where the field's falling. Like if it hits the green and everybody's cheering, we know everybody's got the over. If it misses, if you hit the green and everybody starts booing, you know exactly where you stand.
Yeah, we were coming up one white the year we won it, and Justin was landing my ball on the green like an air traffic controller.
Well, it started kind of rolling towards the fringe, and I was like, no, like.
Yeah. Oh man,
because that was, I think the over under was 1.5, and there was 2 balls on the. That was the second ball on the green.
Yeah,
I never bet the under.
No.
Dude, the under early is where it's at. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh, early on it is, but later on, no.
Because honestly, the one thing I will say about the shootout is it does really feel like it does weed itself out, right? Like it feels like the people that move on generally are supposed to.
Yeah.
I know last year there's a little bit of pop controversy or whatever, but I think for the most part the teams that are playing the best kind of rise in those moments. So
yep, for sure.
Speaking of teams, give a little annual update on our teams. Ryan couldn't join us tonight, of course. Still a mystery.
I don't even want him on here.
That's fair.
It's called tough love.
This is very tough love.
So Justin and Ryan, the 2020 champs, so COVID year champs.
Yeah.
Last year you were in the shootout, eliminated on the first hole, which we can get to that later. But you've won your flight 2 of the 4 years as a team.
Yep.
You guys are an astounding 13-3-2 in match play. Last year went 4-1.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, and I actually
got to keep rolling.
Yeah. So I was looking. I found the picture of our scoreboard. So we actually went 6, 4, 7, 5, 7. So
the year you won.
Yeah. Last year. Last year.
2 sevens.
That's not good.
It was a weird year in the first flight. There's never blowouts.
Mm-mm.
I can tell you there was 2 times that I can remember that there was an over a 6-3. So a 6.5, 2 times in 4 years. And on Saturday we had 3 of them, and then on Sunday we had 4 of them in 2 matches.
Jeez.
It was a weird year. It was a really weird year in the first flight. I don't know why, but when we lost a match, I'm like, look, we're going to have a couple 6s, maybe even a 7 in here to make up for that loss. And we ended up doing it, but we played 1 bad match, and the rest of the time we were in control. Other than Jared eagling the first hole on us.
Yeah, so I mean, how's Ryan going to react when Keith makes an ace on you guys? Because that's all that guy does now.
I'm fully expecting it. So if he doesn't, I'd be like, oh, okay, he didn't make an ace. But I'm fully expecting him to make a hole-in-one on us because it will be us that he does it against, nobody else.
Yeah, I feel like you just had a lot of hole-in-one just rubbed in your
orbit.
face. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but Ryan has not played much golf. We talked about it before he came on here. I think it's 5 or 6 rounds total this year.
That's not a lot of golf, especially for him.
That is not a lot of golf. Some injury. He's got some shoulder stuff going. He's permanently hurt. Let's just call it that.
We talked about it last week. Yeah.
Is he hurt or injured? He's definitely hurt.
Yeah.
But he said he's raw dogging it. He just keeps telling me he's going to raw dog it. So I'm like,
it's highly inappropriate to be honest, but
So
whatever that
he
means.
just keeps repeating that, and I'm like, I don't even know what that means in terms of golf. But I was telling people today I was out there practicing for 2. When a pregnant woman says she's eating for 2. Yeah. I was out there practicing for the both of us. So we'll see.
He's just going to come in just wrapped in ice, covered in icy hot, just glistening with all the Bengay that he covers himself with.
Yeah.
On his way to the course.
Over under 1.5 braces on his body.
He's definitely going to have 1 on his knee. He already told me that.
Saying 1.5's the over under.
There might be an elbow one involved. I don't know. I haven't heard about that one, but it wouldn't.
It's a sharp line.
It would not surprise me.
Copper fit. He's going to go with the copper fit.
Yeah.
He's going to bust out the middle school baseball fighting necklace as well, too. Just anything
to try to get
he
the
can
ions
get.
moving on
Yeah,
them.
got to get his electromagnetics all squared away.
So, like, as I think about this, right, like, this is going to go one or two. There's not going to be in between, right? I told you guys before we came on here, if he helps on more than 4 holes in 5 matches, I'll be thoroughly like enamored with that.
That's a
like,
very low bar,
is
pal.
so
well,
low.
that's why I'm setting it pretty low because we've talked about this so many times with other golf, right? Like not playing a lot of golf and then hopping right into a tournament golf it's risky business for sure.
Yeah.
But like I said, it can go one of two ways. It's either going to be really, really good, like he's going to surprise the shit out of me and like find a way to just dink it around and make some pars, maybe a couple birdies, or he's just going to play absolutely atrocious golf. I don't think there's going to be anything in between. I really don't.
I think he's going to be really streaky.
Oh,
I think he's going to have like,
Which it'll
be like
that to me would be a win.
Yeah, he's going to play. He's going to play well.
You got to remember, he's only getting 2 shots in 27 holes. He's getting 1 on the blue and he's getting 1 on the white. He gets 0 on the red. Whereas last year he was getting 1 on the red, 2 on the blue, and 3 on the white.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you're playing match play, especially in your flight, that's probably not going to matter because I have a feeling you guys are probably going to be the top of your flight.
We're going to be the top of our flight, and
he's either going to be matching someone else's pops or people are going to be popping on him.
Yeah, and as it stands right this moment, where we had 3+ handicaps in our flight last year, I am under the impression that I am going to be the only plus handicap. So I'm going to be the only one out there giving up pops or back to the course in matches.
Who is not playing?
Well, Wes is not playing now. And then Jeff Leschner had to give up shots last year. He's now like a 2.5, so he'll actually get a couple now.
Wow.
So
that's dangerous. Somebody like him who that's not long
he's
ago.
He's not playing well, but it's like he's just somebody that can go out there and shoot 34, and then it's like, oh, he's getting a shot. Now it's a 33.
Yeah.
You will get the doors blown off for sure.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting how it all shakes out. I love the fact last year that I was going up against other people that were actually like giving up shots to the course, and it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case this year.
Right. Yeah, because that's just like it's both a disadvantage in reality and it's sort of a psychological one, right? Like,
yeah. Well, because you step on the tee and they're all par 3s. I think we talked about this last year.
Yeah.
They're all par 3s. So Ryan steps up and it's hit. Like, unless I stuff one, but it's still a par.
Yeah.
Like, if I stuff one and tap it in, it's like, all right, Ryan, go get birdie. But, like, legitimately, he's stepping up there and he's a single team. Like, he's a single-person team on that hole.
Yeah. Now,
no one ever gets pops against us on those holes, but
it's very easy to miss a green and then you're just boned on the par 3s out there.
Yeah, and a couple of them he did really well on, kind of held his own. A couple of them last year did not hit good shots. And it was the first 2 that he didn't hit. I think he just had to psychologically get over the fact that it's like, dude, you've got, what do you got? 4 more of these. It's like, you got 2 more days of this. So you have to figure it out. But our team theme this year for the videos I'm going to be sending them is Ted Lasso.
Oh,
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I do like that.
I like that a lot.
I got them dialed up starting Thursday.
I think that's good. You're taking the positive re-encouragement route instead of
believe. That's
just believe.
I'm believing in him.
How quickly are we going to the dart scene?
God,
barbecue sauce.
That's the best scene of the whole show. Love that scene.
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite scenes ever made in a TV show.
Yeah.
So, but that's our theme this year. So
love that for you.
Let's talk about you guys.
So, I got one more question for you because I wouldn't be a good journalist if I didn't ask. We get to the shootout. You step up on 1 red. What are we doing?
If the wind is not against us, I'm hitting driver.
Okay, so not against. So flat or down.
Flat or down, driver will be hit. I'm completely committed to that.
Committed to the bit.
And here's the thing: the pro at the course, Sean, said, "I don't hate it." He's like, "You just got a bad bounce. Like you hit a kind of iffy shot, and you got a bad bounce. I don't hate." Because we talked about this. Oh God, I'll fucking repeat. If I hit that drive downwind into that front bunker, people on that fucking tee box would be shitting down their legs. They would be shitting down their legs. And I told Ryan before I hit the driver, I said, if I hit this good and I'm in that front bunker, drive my ass up there and drop me the fuck off because I want everybody to see where my ball's at.
What? So that goes through to the next hole. There's 13 more spots available.
Doesn't matter, dude. I'm telling you, people.
Sorry, 7 more spots.
You were thinking you've played competitive stuff your entire life. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of guys out there that might have, but haven't done it in a really, really long time, or are just not mentally competitive, and that would fuck with them. I guarantee, dude. Even Cody said he was I agree with your thinking. If you drive up, get out of the cart, and you're sitting up there with your club waiting to hit, and they know you're in that front bunker, even though there's 6 more spots, that would fuck with a lot of people. It really would.
Fair.
Maybe. I guess from my perspective, putting my Ryan hat on, Wilson hat, I would say you are the most likely person of the 22 people standing there to not just make par, but also to make a birdie, regardless of hitting driver or not. So, I would take a club out of your hand that puts any risk in play of you not being in the hole. That would be my point of view as your partner.
Okay, so let's just say this, right? Let's just say I hit a 2-iron. If I pull that 2-iron a little bit and get a bad kick, it goes into the shit straight.
I don't want you in 2-iron.
Then hit a 4-iron.
But if I hit a 4-iron and push it a little bit, I'm behind the tree.
That's a good point. The trees over there.
So here's the problem when people try to wrap their head around that scenario. Nothing's a guarantee.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Right? Nothing is a guarantee. There's no guarantee that 4-iron gets me far enough. If I push it a little bit, I'm past the tree. There's no guarantee I don't pull that 2-iron and end up in the shit. There's none of those are guarantees. Anything can happen with any club.
It is possible too, with where you're landing driver, that you have more room up there.
100% more room.
The fairway and the tree.
I've measured it out. I've measured it out. From heatherline to heatherline is 85 yards.
Yeah.
If you do my landing area with a 4-iron or 2-iron, it's 65 yards. It's actually 20 yards smaller.
I can see that for sure.
I made a bet. And here's the thing where I understand where Ryan's coming with what he's saying. On record, did not hit driver well in our matches last year. One match I hit driver pretty well. And it was our last match. So he's he's figuring it out. But still, he's kind of remembering those, first 4 match swings off the tee. And it's they weren't great. They were not good. And so I think he realized I was struggling with it. And I think, now, if he saw me striping driver for 5 matches,
probably doesn't.
He probably doesn't even question the driver. And then if that happens, it's dude, that was your worst drive in 2 days. But it was I wasn't hitting it particularly great. I started hitting it good leading into it, and then that happened.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand where he's coming from.
As long as you have conviction behind it, you know what I mean? If you're living and dying by the sword, tip your cap. They got a bad bounce, pushed it a little bit and got a bad bounce.
It is what it is.
Unfortunately, that's the one swing that everybody at the club was watching you take.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? That's the only one.
If I just get a straight bounce, right? It should have. It actually should have kicked a little left, and it kicked right. If I get a straight bounce, I'm 50 yards out in the rough.
Right.
With a decent, it'd have been kind of a hard chip, but nothing I couldn't have gotten on the green and had like 20 or 25 feet.
It's what, 40 yards compared to everybody else. It's 120
Yeah.
in.
And some people
And if
were
you look
blocked
at
by trees, and some people.
No, and then
were-
if you look at scoring averages, like for me from 40 yards, even if I was at 120 with them, but if me from 40 and them from 120, dude, it's probably a whole shot difference. Like legitimately a whole shot difference.
Oh, and there'll be people that have like 180 in because they go up the
Yeah.
left side and it stays long there.
I'm glad that we're finally able to talk about this.
Get down in the open. On the record.
But that's you'd be like.
This has been the number one topic of the back six pack for a whole year.
That's my thing, right? Like I grew up with a dad that had like a lot of conviction about things. I'm very stubborn. Like it is what it is, but I'm convinced that it's still the right play, and I hope I get a chance to prove it this year. I really, really do.
God, redemption story. I
So
would love to see it. All right, we can talk about us now.
yeah, let's talk about you. I'm getting a little rattled
I know,
thinking
sorry,
about this.
I had to poke the bear a little bit. That's all. Me and Gunn, third year of our partnership last year, entering our fourth year. With 2022 champs, 2021 came in fourth. Did not win our flight last year, so we're 2 for 3 on the flight wins. We have an 8-1-4 match record. Lost our first match last year, late on a Saturday. Tough scene. Last year's record 1-1-3, just like half city. Couldn't put our foot down on anybody,
Yeah, because I think we saw you. We like our paths crossed like one match last year, right?
Yeah.
I think we were up 4-0 when that happened.
You were
Yes.
at 4-0 and ended up having that match, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I hit a 40-foot birdie putt to have a hole, and that's all we got.
Yes.
The rest of the way.
Chris DeBoard.
Chris DeBoard,
Yeah.
I think he got just the right amount of beer in him finally to get his equilibrium back from the night before, and he just went on a tear. That
Yeah,
was-
I remember you guys talking about
I think he
that.
birdied 3 of the last 5.
Yeah, I was going to say
Three or
four
four
or
of the last 5, yeah. And like we only stopped him on one hole because Guenth buried a long ass putt. So yeah, that was tough. We talked about it last week a little bit. Guenth wasn't here though. I think we both felt the pressure a little bit of defending, or at least maybe let our expectations get high, too high. I don't know how to say
I agree
it.
with that. I think, and you try to recreate and you try to make it perfect like it was
Yeah,
and the way
Can't
that it
do
went. We had, I mean, again, we've played in it 3 years. We've lost one match. And you're thinking like, all right, we got to win every single one. Like we got to be perfect. We got to be perfect. And obviously, like even in the first flight where it's everyone's fighting tooth and nail, like you can lose a match and you can
Yeah,
still
you can
get
lose
out.
a match. Yeah.
You can still get out. And so I think that's where it came. A lot of what, happened last year was kind of pressing we got to win. We got to win. We got to be perfect. We got to be perfect. I don't want to buy into we're getting everybody's best shot. I've always hated that where,
no,
I'm a UC Bearcats fan and every year we hear about, oh, this is Xavier's biggest game of the year. Well, how does Kentucky ever win a game? How does Duke ever win a game? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there's something to that, right? I think the people that think about that
Right.
we have a target on our back, blah, 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 those are the ones that typically underachieve, right? Then if you're just like, well, you know what? What you don't know is like, you're my biggest match right now.
Yeah.
Like, you like flip it up. Because I think it does, and then it adds expectations. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit. Like,
And I think all of our expectation came from us where it's like,
yeah.
we got to be perfect again. If we want to win this, like everything has to go our way like it did last year. And that's the only way to do it.
I honestly think too. We halved our first 2 matches, and we were just kind of like stagnant. We're like, God. And then you get out there in the last match on Saturday, you're like, we got to make something happen.
You start pressing.
Yep.
And just got so squirrely, gave holes away, just on repeat, and got beat down. I think we got beat 6-3.
And I think like the first hole that we really lost, like it was kind of back and forth the first few holes. And I want to say they won a hole on a bogey.
Yeah, I think it was 4 blue.
Yeah, they won a hole on a bogey. And it was like, all right, this is bad.
Yeah. And then the wax
This is getting away from us.
The wax melted, and it was just kind of
Yeah.
But then, I mean, like Sunday morning, we came back and we were, beating Jim and Chris's ass. And we're like, all right, we get the wild cards in play. The flight was still in play. Like, we weren't like out of it.
Weren't out of it.
And then Chris got on a heater, we would have had to go out and win like an 8-1 in the afternoon. I think we won like 5.5, 3.5 or something, but
against
just
Aaron and Howie.
Yeah. Or something like that. 6-3 maybe, I don't know, but just wasn't enough. And it was just one of those where like didn't have our best stuff, probably tried to be too perfect, didn't get it done.
Yeah, I think to add to that is like you do have to walk like you own your flight, right? Yeah. You have to have a certain amount of confidence, like this is my flight, right? But you also have to accept the fact that there are going to be some times where someone does something to you and it's like, dude, I could have done everything in my power and we still would have maybe lost this match or whatever. Like, that's how our loss went last year, right?
Yeah.
We didn't do anything bad, but we didn't do anything great. And then, like, they did a couple things great and they beat us. Like, just kind of was like,
it's the old tip your cap, right?
Yeah.
That, hey, he threw a good pitch, he got me out.
It's like, you like, our longest putt made in that match that we lost last year was like 3.5 feet. We went back and looked at it, and it's like, they made 2 40-footers. That was the difference right there. Like, and that's how quickly it can happen, right? And how easily it can happen, especially in a match that's going back and forth.
And, too, there is so much of that, like, good things have to happen to you. Like, there's so much. It's something like this where it's designed to be as competitive as it can possibly be. Like, everybody's handicaps are right there together. Yeah. I mean, it is designed for it to be so competitive. Like, you have to catch some breaks.
Yeah.
And you just kind of like, hey, what's going to happen is going to happen. Trust the process and go for it. Go from there. I mean, I'm sure you could probably point to multiple things the year you won it, Justin, that like, hey, something like we caught a break right there.
Oh, I mean, I think like 4 or 5.
Yeah, and exactly.
And 3 of them were in the freaking Stampede itself.
Yeah.
Ryan hits a chip shot and he hits in the same spot as everybody else. We all like kind of rolled to the right, and Ryan's like rolled straight. Like it just kind of took a little hop left and just kind of rolled straight. And he was like 2 feet 3 inches. Everybody else was like 8 to 10 feet. Yeah. And it's like, there you go. Like that's a break, and it's, but that brings up a good point is because I think our course does a really good job at limiting sandbaggers. It's super competitive and you have to play better than your handicap. Even if it's one shot better, you have. I told you guys, I went through the scorecards from last year. Every match that was over a worse loss than 6-3. So 6-3, 6-2.5, 6.5, 2.5, 7-2, 8. There was an 8-1 last year. Every team that lost played over their handicap. So if they were a 4, they shot 40 or worse. Well, you're not going to win many matches doing that. Like you'd be lucky to have, be honest. You really, really will. So you got to play good too. Yeah, consistently good for 2 days and catch a couple breaks.
Yeah, and as you go down those flights, that window gets slightly bigger, right? Where instead of hey, I played 2 my handicap, and you get down a little bit lower, and I played 1 over my handicap. Like you still got a shot.
Yeah.
As you get lower and lower and lower. I shouldn't say lower into the flights, but as you get further down that list of flights, that window gets slightly bigger, but it's still, it ain't big.
No.
It ain't a big window.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I think something that you and I have always done pretty well until last year after we have those first 2 matches and we started worrying about points, right? Every year we've come into this and been like, all right, it's 45 individual matches. Like we're just going to go win every hole. Like, and that's the only way you can really think about it. Because at the end of the day, all that matters is how many points you have at the end to get to your flight
that's
championship.
all that matters. Doesn't matter which match they come in and how they come.
And we started thinking in terms of like, okay, we actually need this number of points. We have to win this match. We have to, you know what I mean? Then you start getting ahead of yourself. Same thing when you're playing a regular round of golf. If you're even par through 6 and you're like, holy shit, I'm even through 6. And then you start thinking about it.
It starts going downhill.
The bogeys start coming, right? So I think you and I have talked about that. Like we're going to get back to the process, back to talking through things. Like I think last year, kind of rightfully so, too. I mean, Guenth carried us to our win in 2022. I'll be honest, in the shootout. Like, I think I bogeyed every hole. I massively respected your own, decision-making and stuff on the course last year. And I'm not saying I shouldn't have, but I'm saying I think we're better when we're talking through everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even from me, from you to me, there's times where you've talked me off of shots or been like, dude, no, I've seen
Like
you hit
slow
the shot. Like
slow it down a little bit.
this is what, and so we're getting back to the basics. I think is a big thing for us this year.
Well, and you got to use your partner as a resource, right?
Yeah.
Like things can start moving really fast when you're inside your own head.
Yep.
And instead of just taking a step back and be like, okay, yeah, we lost the first hole. Who cares? Like, is this shot that I'm about to hit the right one? And you can talk about it, but like when you're playing your own ball, it's like it's easy to. It starts moving fast. You make a rash decision and just go ahead and hit it, right?
Yep.
But like you need, that's why you have a partner, right? They're there to help you win holes, but they're also there to like counsel you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's pretty good. Preview.
Nice therapy session there.
Therapy session.
I do want to
too.
go back. I am so excited for Thursday.
Yeah.
I know.
He was talking shit about the dinner, but he's internally very, very
I am
excited.
so
about
excited
this.
for that Champions dinner. I think it's going to be so cool. I think you guys said it before. Like this is what like good clubs do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anytime we can do something like this, it's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah. I'm so excited to see how it turns out. And
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how many people, like a lot of the say in the last 10 years, those guys are still out there, right? I saw some names on the list. I'm like, I don't know who this guy is, but I hope he comes on Thursday. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I hope everybody got invites, and because I'm sure there's, I don't know how long's the tournament going? Do you know?
in the book, it dates back to 99.
Yeah, so I mean, God, it'd be sick for the 99 champion show up, right? Like,
yeah.
hell yeah. Yeah.
And again, I don't know. I didn't know some of the names. I'm like, that'd be cool. Like, some of the past, way past ones show up. So I'm looking forward to it. It's
That's
gonna be so much
the
fun.
closest we're ever going to get to any kind of serious champions dinner. So
Yeah.
we may as well enjoy every minute
Yeah.
of it, right?
I heard it's a seafood boil. I heard that.
Oh my god! I will not be eating. I'll show up, but I will not be eating if that's the case.
Yeah, I think I wet the beak enough on that front on Sunday. Okay, well, we've been talking a little bit of match play. Real quick before we move on to Open Championship stuff. Keegan Bradley was named the Ryder Cup captain. The three of us, we did a pretty big breakdown of the Ryder Cup, talking through full swing and everything. So I feel like I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on Keegan Bradley being named captain.
I mean, I love it.
Okay.
I don't think he has the experience that we're used to. But then I point whenever someone's like, he doesn't have the experience. Show me what that's gotten us. Like the past experience,
Elks.
right? Show me. Like we're at a certain point where, like you'd be like, hey, Michael Jordan's going to be the captain of the Ryder Cup team. We're like, look, I'm for it because it's different, and we need to try something different because whatever we're doing is not working. And I think the barrel's pretty slim pickings when it comes to who we would actually make a good captain that actually wants the job.
Yeah.
On the record.
I had all kinds of different texts all the way typed out. I am not as well versed in golf history and stuff like that as you guys, but I had all kinds of different texts typed out. I think we did discuss one of them that I did actually send, where it was like, who is our go-to guy? Like, who is the American? Like, who is our go-to guy? You go around to different sports. If there was something like this for football, it'd be Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. Like, no doubt about it, right? That's who would lead the football version of this. And
Yeah.
baseball, you pick a name. Like, there's all kinds of different. Derek
Jeter probably comes to mind. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's all these different guys. Golf, we don't really. I mean, Tiger is the guy, but you can poke holes in that. Tiger does not have a good record. Phil Mickelson, like, is he? He has a losing record as well, I believe.
Yeah, it's so
I mean?
hard to
Like,
look at records on the American side because some of those teams those guys were on, like, dude, they could have gone out and shot 30 under in their matches, and it probably wouldn't even have mattered.
Yeah.
Like, it
That's fair.
legitimately would not have mattered.
But then we get more recent, and, we brought up how, like, I think Spieth and Justin Thomas have, like, a lot of say in this, and
that's more of the bone I would like to pick than anything.
I don't know that they deserve that.
That's the bone. That's the, I guess, the catch that I just not crazy about. And they were noted Spieth fans. Like, I love them.
And I like JT too.
And I love JT too. But they haven't exactly torched the last couple, like they've been bad the last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, I think
Jordan longer than JT, but
it feels like on the European side, they always have like at least 2 to 3 stalwart guys, right? And it's not even always like the best player. It's someone like Polzer that like
he's just like a Ryder Cup,
right?
Ryder Cup god.
But like on the U.S. side, we just don't have anyone that's like that constant in these things.
No,
right?
I think
you would argue like, oh, is it Brooks? Like, there's video of this guy talking about like, I don't know if I'm any good at golf anymore.
He just played a match with the best player in the world last year and got his ass beat 9-8.
Yeah,
yes. We just don't have anybody that's like
and unfortunately, like I love Brooks, but he's kind of like he's like
Tiger.
Dude, he's like that typical jock too, like where he like when things like clearly at that point like things were not going the Americans' way. He's just kind of like, dude, fuck it. Like he's like I think because I truly believe he walks out there and it's tied. Like 9-8 does not happen. Like it just does not happen. It wouldn't have happened, but. I think he just got to that point. He probably saw the bullshit going on in the locker room. He's just like, fuck this, dude. Like, I really don't care anymore. Like, he is that type of guy. He's noted. Like, he said, like, he doesn't care. Like, when it comes to stuff like that. Like, when it's like, and I think he just got to the point, like, he cared, and then all of a sudden it was just like, these dudes are a bunch of fucking clowns.
Yeah.
Like, so.
I think for the Keegan part of it, a couple things. He very well could be the right person for the job. I don't know. I'm willing to let that be the case. Yeah. I don't have anything against Keegan. I don't know why he didn't even know he was considered for the role until he got the call that he was going to get it.
Yeah, that seems bad. That seemed wild.
And for the fact that, like, literally the last version before this one in Rome, we, like, set a historic ass beating, right, within the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
And then not even 2.5 years later, we're going to just, like, blow the whole process up because Zach Johnson was the trash captain, which I said at the time. It's more about, I don't think captains really can like, I think they can tank you. I don't think that they can move the needle that far in the positive. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think, I genuinely think to be a good captain in the Ryder Cup, like you just have to be a good locker room person. Like,
vibes guy. You're a vibes guy.
Yeah, and I think Keegan might be that guy.
And I think he is that. Like, dude, they're professional athletes. Scotty Scheffler's won 5 or 6 times this year without you, right? Like, Scotty Scheffler doesn't need you out there coaching him.
No.
He doesn't need you coaching him in the locker room. Like, and he's so nice, he'd probably take it. Like, if you had advice, he's going to not be like, oh, get the hell away from me. But, like, he doesn't need you. Like, support him, cheer for him, and talk when talked to. Like, you know what I mean? Kind of thing.
You just have to, it's like any team, right? You have to create an environment where people buy into it.
Yeah.
That's literally all you have to do.
That's all Luke Donald did. All he did.
And it seems like Europe does that formula on repeat every single time. And we, like, every once in a while just have a generational team that's not going to get beat.
Yeah.
You know? So.
I don't know. I think I have no problem with Keegan. I think them going outside the box, it's just definitely a little weird that they didn't like, hey, Keegan, like, we're considering you for this. Like you interested? And obviously he's going to say yes. But it's just like the right thing to do to be like, hey, we're considering you for Ryder Cup captain. Not like, hey, guess what? You're the Ryder Cup captain. Like, we decided that today. That's what's going to happen.
I think I text you guys. I was like, how many times have you heard of somebody that, like, gets a job like that it's like a success or a good thing or whatever, right? Like, no, that's why they have interview processes and you know, people get vetted and all this stuff.
It definitely reeks of, like, we screwed up not taking you on last year's team. Please, here's our peace offering, making you Ryder Cup. Because, as it was noted, I think several different places, the 3 people that were in part of the decision-making process for him getting picked were JT, Jordan, and Zach. And why Zach's even still part of that process is beyond me.
Ugh. They
should have, dude, pack his fucking desk up and get him out of the building. Like, what are we even doing here?
Give him Keegan's pack back and just send him on his way.
I do want to give our group chat credit. We had to have been the first ones to bring up Michael Jordan as the vice captain.
Oh, it's going to happen.
I think it was 2 minutes after it was announced.
Minutes that you said that.
we sent the same exact gift.
Yeah.
Justin,
it's going to happen. Like, they're really good friends, and I think Keegan being a little younger is going to appreciate the fact of, like, hey, being a vice captain on this team is not about being a golfer. It's about being a motivator. It's about being a locker room guy. Like, that's what it's about. And so I told you, I'm like, if he rolled out and was like, yeah, we got Michael Jordan, Derek Jeter, like all these like past great athletes that are going to be vice captains. I'm like, I'm down. Like, send them out there. Dude, you can't tell me, like, Jordan out there, like, after a round's over, you have him in the internal building just talking shit to the Euros. Like, I'm here for it.
Don't you just send him over to their house? Like, hey, let's gamble until 6 in the morning.
There you go.
Go tee off in 30 minutes.
I do think there's something too. Like, okay, Brooks has 5 majors. He's looking at Zach Johnson like,
fuck this dude,
buddy.
Yeah, you don't even know, bro.
Devil's advocate. What's he saying to Keegan?
Same thing. But my point is, if you do bring in like a Michael Jordan,
like Michael Jordan's gonna be like, sit the fuck down.
Jordan legitimately is like the GOAT, like sportsman, like of all time, possibly, right?
And he's not, and that's like, he's just an alpha, man. Like, there's something to be said about that. Like, him walking around that locker room, we're like, oh, you're gonna talk to our captain like that? Well, you're not gonna fucking talk to me like that.
Hey, Xander,
like,
you think this dinner's dumb?
Yeah.
Buddy, come over here and have a cigar with me. Like,
yeah. Like, he's just, I'm telling you, I would not be surprised. At least a couple of the vice captains are non-golfers. I would not surprise me.
No. If they're going to go down this road and just get wild with it, they may as well just fully go in, right?
Like, I think you have to have a couple golfers.
Yeah.
But, like,
yeah.
I think, was there 5 vice captains or something like that?
I think they can have as many as they want, probably.
No, there's a limit on it. There's definitely a limit. I think there's 5.
There are all kinds of, and I know he is not a professional golfer, but I mean, there is all kinds of video out there where professional golfers are talking like, oh no, he beat me. Like, he beat me last week.
Yeah.
Like, we were out at the Grove. He got me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean,
I'm here for it, but I'm going to let the Keegan thing play out. I think it's, I'm like, not like, oh, this is the perfect pick, but I'm like, I'm okay with it because it's outside the box, and I think that's where we need to be at this point.
And if you're Keegan, what a perfect time to be the captain. Right after Zach Johnson, baby.
Oh yeah. It's anything. They could very much lose, and it's like, still liked it more than last year.
I don't know who would ever say yes to being an away captain at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
I think in the perfect world, like this Ryder Cup would have been down to like either does Tiger want it or Phil want it. Like, if Phil was not on live, obviously. Yeah. I think in the perfect world that would. The PGA looking at it like 7 years ago when they named Beth Page. It's like that perfect world. They have those 2 to choose for. Oh, Phil, you want it? Tiger doesn't. Okay, Phil, you're the captain. But obviously, we're in a different territory at this point.
Isn't it? Like, my first thought when I saw Tiger turned it down was like, oh, or just he's going to wait until we go there.
He might be the only one that would do that.
I think so too, and also I think part of it has to do with the whole PGA.
He's super involved in that. Yeah,
he's on the policy board of the tour. Like, he would have to, make a choice of picking a live guy and that kind of thing. I think there's politics there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Open Championship time.
Yeah.
So, fun fact: I prepared something for this.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I prepared something here.
Guenther Trebek over here.
Guenther Trebek. That's what they call me. 20 years ago, fun fact, the Open Championship, I think it was probably called the British Open back then.
I think people still refer to it as
that. It's the Open, yeah. It's just kind of the Open Championship.
But back then, whatever. It was at Royal Troon where, fun fact, that's where it is this year as well. So I've gone back through and I've listed out the last 20 champions to see how many you guys can get out of this list.
And we decided, right? Like 3 strikes.
You get 3 strikes.
Okay. And we're gonna alternate.
Yeah.
You guys can alternate. Do you want to go in order, or are you just going to name a champion?
I think we have to give some chronology.
No. I think you can go through the ones you know.
Oh no, this is bad.
No. You can handpick it. Yeah, like I'm gonna be like, yeah. If you're like, I know 2018, you can go back to that. Like, he gives the course.
I'd rather just go through them. We just try to name
bonus. Okay, that's also fun. Bonus point to you if you can name the year and the course and the champion.
Well, the year you're going to give. Well, you're going to give us the year,
fair.
But I think if you can name who came in second place,
No, you're just taking this way too far now. We're just trying to.
I didn't
see if
prepare
we
that.
can
I didn't prepare that. All right. So, last year.
This is to you. We're going
This
to go
is to
back
you.
and forth. That's what we're going to do.
No, I'll let you have the easy
No.
one.
I don't want this one.
What?
I don't want this one.
2023 at
Brian Harmon, Royal Liverpool.
Very nice. Very nice.
You didn't. I know you. That's why I was trying to get you to say it. You little bastard. You're such a shit.
2022.
I believe this is Cam Smith at the Old Course.
Yeah.
That is correct. 2021.
Oh, Colin Morikawa. Oh shit.
Royal St. George's.
Royal St. George's. Very good.
Okay.
Very good. 2020.
Well, this didn't happen.
Oh, Mitch, that was
Yeah,
good. That was good. See,
Postponed.
see, I had it on here. Where was that supposed to be played?
Royal St. George's.
Yeah.
Nice shot, Mitch. Mitch, that's really good.
They just pushed the course back one year.
Dang, Mitch, that was good.
I retired.
That was really good. Okay, going back now to 2019.
Is this to me? No, it's
It's Mitch.
you.
Well, I got it just because I got the skipped year. I got this
Yeah,
one.
that's not fair.
This was at Royal
This is.
Portrush.
Yep, I was going to say it's Shane Lowry at Royal Portrush.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
2018 at Carnoustie.
2018.
It's gonna be really embarrassing when I say one of these courses
That is
wrong.
one Henrik Stenson.
Strike one.
Strike one. You are
shit.
incorrect.
Frankie
Oh,
Molinari, baby.
Fuck. Oh my god. I think I might have been a year or two early on that one. Damn it.
This is good. We
Okay.
like this.
Damn it.
2017 Royal Birkdale.
This is back to me. All right, my king, Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, I knew that one. You're such a bastard for getting that.
2016
Okay, this is Henrik Stenson.
at
That would have been at this year's course.
Royal Troon.
Royal Troon.
We're doing better than I thought, by the way. This is
Which,
good.
by the way,
I am.
Jamie Kennedy did a thread on that Open Championship as the best battle in a final round. And I'm like,
Oh,
dude,
yeah, dude.
no way. Him and Phil Mickelson absolutely lapped the field.
Yeah.
Like, Dustin Johnson finished 13 back of Phil Mickelson. He was still in the top 10.
Yeah. We.
Like, that's how much they
I
overlapped.
think it's
the field.
available to watch on YouTube. Anyone that's listening, if you want to watch a little prep for this week, go watch that final round.
Dude,
It's
it was
unbelievable.
sick. Phil shot 65 and lost by 3.
I think it was like
Like in the
I
final
forget
round.
what it is, but like Phil's performance in this major was like a top like 5 all-time performance in a major, and he didn't win. It was like one of those.
Do you want to know what the actual stat is for the Open Championship?
Yeah.
He would have won 141 of 145 Open Championships with the score he had.
Crazy.
Oh, which, by the way, it happened to him in the PGA Championship, too. This is all off Jamie Kennedy's thread he did. It happened to him in the PGA Championship when he lost to David Toms. That score in that PGA Championship would have won like all but 3 of the PGA Championships. So it's happened to him a couple times, unfortunately.
Guys, I'm going to be honest. I'm blown away.
It's going to get
It's
dicey.
gonna
here in
get
a minute.
I know it's going to
dicey.
get dicey. All right, next up, 2015 St. Andrews.
This is me, but this is bullshit. This is why I didn't want the odds. It's Zach Johnson.
It is Zach Johnson.
Yeah, I knew that was his last one.
Well, he won. He won over there.
Look,
At some point.
he's got one of the sickest major resumes. I mean, you win the Masters and the
This
Open
is going to
at the
get
Old
dicey.
Course.
2014 is going to get
2014 Royal Liverpool.
dicey. This would be Rory.
Damn it! I was hoping you were going to get that wrong.
Yep. And it's crazy. 2013. It looks like they played this one in Columbus, Ohio, at Muirfield.
It's a Muirfield, yeah.
It's not though, but it's what Muirfield's named after. But
Philip Alfred Mickelson.
It is Phil Mickelson.
yeah, that was
a sick tournament too.
that was a good one too. Yeah.
2012 Royal Lytham and St. Anne's. I mean, I know
Royal
for a
Lytham
fact
and St.
I'm
Anne's.
going to mispronounce most of these.
What year was this again?
2012.
This is more famous for the meltdown that happened.
I know. Give me a second.
Who melted?
I believe Adam Scott melted.
Okay.
2012.
He
Give
didn't
me a
win.
second.
No, I
Adam
know.
Scott did
I
not
know.
win,
No,
so
it's
that
not
would
Adam
make sense.
Scott. Give me a second. 2012.
I hope I'm right.
Do you want where this person is from?
Yes.
Oh, this is bullshit.
No, you get a country. You get a country.
This becomes the easiest question in the world.
Oh my God! I already know it. Louis Oosthuizen.
Nope.
Incorrect.
Damn it!
Same country though.
Same country.
Oh, motherfucker, dude! I was like, I was thinking that it was a non-European or American. I knew it was like non-European, non-American, but I couldn't think of like.
It's Ernie Els.
Yeah, the Big Easy baby.
Damn, dude!
Ernie
I
Els.
guess we are back that far already. God.
2011, Royal St. George's.
See, this one trips me up a bit. I think this is where Darren Clark won.
You want to go with that answer?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
It's correct.
Yes.
Damn.
Darren Clark.
I knew it was somewhere in there. I just didn't know quite where.
That is one I knew. I'm like, fuck, dude.
That's a good one too. Good for him.
Justin, 2010, St. Andrews.
This is where I probably catch my third strike. You know it too. And that's shitty because I knew your last one. I fucking knew 2011 was Darren Clark. It's just such a memorable one too. Him being like he was the oldest at the point to win a major. 2010 St. Andrews. Is that what you said?
That is what I said.
Do I get a country? Give me a country for my third strike.
I'm like in tears over here.
I know I'm going to be mad when I find out who it is.
He is from the same country as Ernie Els.
Louis States. I knew he was in there somewhere. Like I knew he's like the bottom half of the 2010s. I just didn't know exactly where he landed.
That's so good.
All right, 2009 at Turnberry.
Now we're in trouble. Oh, Stu Sink.
Stu Sink.
Yeah,
God,
dude, you're getting
Tom
all the ones I
Watson.
fucking remember. Like I knew that.
I've
one.
actually known all these. I'm impressed with myself.
2008 Royal Birkdale.
Oh, that's tough.
Country.
Oh, no.
I don't know where this guy's from.
He doesn't get the answer. Can you fold it and
I can.
show him the
I think
country?
I know who it is. Oh. I believe he's from Ireland. This guy caught an all-time heater while Tiger was away, basically. It's a recent Ryder Cup captain.
Andy has a very similar name to a very specific bear from England. Friends with the Queen.
Patrick. Jesus Christ. Patrick Harrington. We still have like 7 more years to go. I can't lose my third strike yet.
Oh, okay.
Mitch,
These are gonna get
in
rid- these are gonna get
2007, this man won the Open Championship
This man, is that what we're doing here?
at Carnoustie.
This is where I get got.
Who is?
All right, do I get a country?
I will give you a country.
Yeah.
He is from Ireland.
Oh, Patrick Harrington.
Patrick
I
Harrington.
forgot he won 2
He
Opens.
won back to
I
back.
thought he won 2 PGAs, but okay, he won.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back
Justin.
Opens.
In 2006, this man won the Open Championship at Royal Liverpool.
Oh, God. Country.
This man is from the United States of America.
You know this man. You're familiar with his work.
You've heard of him.
I'm going to say it but I think I might be a little early. But is it Tiger Woods? He won at. He's run at Royal Liverpool.
It is Tiger Woods.
Okay, I knew he had one at Royal Liverpool, but I didn't want to pull the trigger too soon.
Mitch.
This is a heater of back-to-backs. Tiger Woods at the old course.
Yeah.
2005 at the Old Course.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to. But he was another one that had back to backs.
And then at Royal Troon, this man in 2004 won the Open Championship.
Country.
I know who it is, but that's
His
kind of a
brother
cheat.
his brother has a play on Broadway about him.
Oh my God, Todd Hamilton.
Yep.
Dude, I was like,
His brother
So I knew,
Alexander.
I was like, are we gonna go back far enough to get to Todd Hamilton?
Yeah.
Dude, we might even go back far enough to get to the next one. That I'm like,
No, that's the last one.
That's
Oh,
20
that
years.
was it?
20 years
That's the
I
last
thought we were
20
gonna
years.
get back to Ben Curtis there for a second.
Wait, what was
Dude,
he?
I think of, like-
was he 03 or 02 or
He
something?
was like
that?
02 or 03. Yeah. Todd Hamilton.
Boys,
Shit.
that was fun. That was fun.
was-
I
that was
enjoyed
fun.
that.
I'm impressed with us, honestly.
That stretched the brain cells a little
I
bit.
love having the answers to something.
And watching
quizzing
other people sweat.
I did it for a job for 8 years, actually.
Was that the high point? Was that the best part?
That's it. That was all that I enjoyed.
That was fun.
That was good.
That was fun. Thank God I didn't miss the Tiger Woods one. I'm like, okay. I don't want to pull. I knew he's won at Royal Liverpool. I knew that.
There's a 4-year stretch where only 2 guys won there.
Yeah. That's getting the Clare Jug for 2 years is
sick.
Yeah.
So sick.
It's a nice little trophy.
It's the oldest trophy in golf, I believe.
I think it's the best trophy in sports.
It's definitely,
but it's up.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
pretty
one
good.
of the top ones. Anyway, Open Championship. The one thing about the Open, actually Nick texted me today, and I agree with him. It's for sure my second favorite major. I know, but I would listen to myself argue myself about it being better than the Masters.
I could argue it. Yeah.
I think it's my favorite. I don't know. It just is. There's something about like you turn it on, 5, 6 in the morning, the bagpipes are going. People's got sweaters on.
It's on at 2 a.m.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like, dude.
This one's for the
like
sickos.
if you're running a heater at a bar, you can just go home and watch it.
Yeah.
Like while you're trying to fall asleep.
The problem in recent years is it's always fallen during Stampede weekend.
Yeah.
So that's been a tough
Saturdays
scene.
and Sundays are.
It's hard to get.
Like,
catch
I'm
any
going to
of
wake
it.
up 3 hours earlier than I normally do to watch this. But I do that on Thursday and Friday for sure.
We got to make a one and done pick. Look, Max Homa at the Scottish Open last week, he beat 2 guys in the field.
Yeah.
He made the cut. Well, I should say he beat 2 guys that made the cut. T70, tough scene. Not good. We're down very, very bad.
We are running out of runway.
We're $5.5 million back in the money line. That's our only target at this point. I got some names here. Felt like probably the list at this point where we're at. Unless you got someone really off the wall you want to take, and I'll listen to it.
I swear to you, the only person I thought about all freaking day when I was thinking about who we'd pick, I think it might be Bryson. Dude, look, there's a reason he's played as well as he has in every major this year.
Yeah, I've got it written
every
down.
single major.
I mean, he's got a win, a second, and a T6. That's pretty good.
That's really good. Actually.
Does his style of play translate?
That's my thing. His open track record is ass. But that can change easily, His game has leveled up bigly, so.
Yeah. I don't know. Who else do you have written down?
So here's the thing. I really like the idea of Tyrrell Hatton, but he's going to be popular. He's 94% available. He's been playing really good on Live. This year in the majors, he's T26, T63 at the PGA wasn't good, but T9 at the Masters where he never plays well. He's got a win on Live. He just finished 3rd this week at Valderrama. He's an excellent links player.
Wilmer
Von. Also,
Fez. Is he owned? Is anybody owning him this week?
I don't think so.
I don't think he's in the field, unfortunately. He ran out of his exemptions.
Did you guys pick anybody at the celebrity thing? Did you guys?
You don't have to
pick
pick for that one.
No.
Okay. Which, by the way, goddamn, the Kelce's got speed.
Yeah, they do.
Jesus. I don't know, man. So I have a good feeling about Hatton, but I'm willing to throw it out because he's too available.
Yeah, I don't like that. It feels like that's going to be a really heavy pick.
Xander is only 15% available for people. His form, T15, T13, T7, T8 win.
Softest Charmin has no chance if the weather goes bad.
I feel like he's going to a good top 10, but I don't know if he's going to win.
We all saw your tweet about that.
Dude,
Sorry, your post on X.
Softest Charmin. If it gets bad weather, I could see him folding pretty quickly.
Do you want to get wild?
I'll hear you out.
Do you want your guy, Big Tony Finau?
I thought we already took him.
No,
he's been in discussion a couple times.
Yeah,
Big Tone here.
Okay, so I saw a list of people that have played minimum 24 rounds in the Open. He was 3rd on the list behind Jordan Spieth.
Sneaky good strokes gained at Open Championships.
Dude, I could.
And here's the thing about Troon.
Here's the thing. If Bryson goes and plays like shit, I'm gonna hate that pick. If Tony goes and plays bad, I'm gonna be like, look, we rode with a guy we like. That's kind of how I feel about that.
The thing about Troon that it keeps showing up is it's a lot easier of a putting course than some of these are, and I think that bodes well for bad putters.
And he's noted not the greatest putter in the world.
He finished T18 here in 2016. Not that really matters, but he's played there. Hatton T5 here in 2016, by the way. Didn't know that. But Tony, T5, T3, T8, T17, T18. Form good.
I don't mind that.
He's only 34% available, I
It
think.
feels like that's the only one we've actually agreed on. You're hesitant about Bryson.
Let's go Tone.
Okay.
We're just we're chucking darts at this point anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to be heavily picked. Maybe if,
we stink because we didn't use like the live guys at all properly this year.
Should've.
But
we even talked about that because there's going to be like 5 opportunities or 4 opportunities.
there's 4 chances, yeah, and we just didn't take advantage.
Yeah.
But
oh, well.
all right,
Tone.
Tony
love
Finau is
Tony.
going to be the 2024 champion golfer of the year.
Flew commercial to the Open like a real gentleman. Saw it on
is the family
Instagram. Yeah, his wife is. I don't think they took any of the kids.
Wow.
So, my guy, he's getting a little alone time with the missus.
Now's the time.
He's going to be on a heater, man.
We like that. For
He's going to
Tony.
have his 9th kid when he
Yeah.
gets back. Dude, he's got so many kids. It's so crazy. It actually might be number 10. I'm not actually 100% sure
It's
about
like
that.
the Utah life, dude.
I know. Something in the water.
Built differently. All right, I think it's that time.
Let's
it
go to
time?
the baddies.
It's
I just
time.
cracked a new beer.
I'm about to crack a new one.
I'm almost out here. Do I need to join you guys in spirit or
Yeah, no.
Yeah, bring it on.
hand it to me? We'll do it. Oh, you got the tall boys.
The tall boy 12 pack, dude, is kind of where it's at. And these are Luke Combs, which I love Luke Combs.
The Luke Combs edition. Beer never broke my heart. I mean,
Never, ever. It's hurt other parts of my body, but just never my heart. So it checks out.
Cold tops on these things.
yeah.
Holy shnikes.
All right,
Alright.
are we going guest honors?
Yeah,
for Patio
we're gonna
Beers
do
this
guest
week?
honors.
Guest honors.
All right, so
He was
I'm happy to
prepared.
be on the
He's ready.
patio. I'm
He's
thrilled
ready.
to be on the patio.
Welcome back.
I will say, I haven't been on since the bachelor party.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I know you haven't.
I will
even
say,
think about that.
for all the back 9 6-pack fans out there, we did go man on the street in Chicago and did ask my previous Patio Beers question of your favorite bar in the world to a bunch of people in Chicago.
We did.
The tapes are lost.
They're not lost. I think they're somewhere. I think they just don't want to be. I'm not sure if we decided that they should be seen in public.
The tapes weren't lost, but our beautiful boy might have been lost
Yeah.
in the sauce.
He had the shirt on. He had the
It might
Pookie
have-
shirt on.
It might have been my. It might
he
have
looked
been.
absolutely fire.
It might have
Yeah.
been the 10 beers and 8 bomb pops I ate that might have did me in.
We had our queen up on the roof with us, Pookie,
Pookie was there.
Pookie
and her
was
entire
there.
family.
The Cubs
Her
there.
They all
family.
were answering.
And her boyfriend.
Her boyfriend
And her
hated us.
boyfriend.
I'm pretty sure he
wasn't a
hated
fan.
all of us.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But okay, so because I am a guest and it'd be rude to stop me, I'm asking 2 questions. One of them is going to be a very quick rapid fire,
okay.
John, we got going on right here.
We've never
But
done rapid fire questions.
but-
I'm looking forward to this.
I want to know. Well, it's just a one. Pop, pop. Real quick question. I want to know, what is your unrealistic dream job? So, like, obviously, it's like, oh, it'd be sweet to, like, obviously, I would love it if this podcast got to the point that, you're full time and
we're
stuff
all,
like that.
all of our we employ all of our friends.
Exactly.
Just in case anybody's wondering what our actual goal is, because I think that is actually the goal. But
Give us money.
Buy some hats. Come on. But what is your, like, crazy out there dream job?
Mitch, you want to go?
Mine, I'll go just to give you a
Sure.
feel here. Late night talk show host.
Dude, that would be pretty cool. Dude,
You'd
they
be good
work
at
like
it.
I think that
they
would be
work
so
like
much
3
fun.
hours a day.
Yeah. I think that would be so much fun.
And by the way, they film at like 5 p.m. So it's
Correct.
not like you're actually up at
Correct.
11:30.
Correct. It's the dream. That
Yeah,
would be
that's
such a fun job.
That would be a really cool job.
Yeah.
We've talked about, what's the luxury in life you would have if you had money was no object, and we've mentioned having a private jet. Dude, being a private jet pilot,
Some
you
guy
just
came
know
in.
all the secrets. You get to go to the sweetest places in the world.
Some guy bought our couch here a few months back, and he is a private jet pilot. Flies a G5 in and out of Lunkin
Well,
Yeah.
all the time.
John, who we had on when you were out, his dad flies for NetJets, and he loves it. Dude, he just flies and then spends 6 days in the Bahamas, on the company dime,
Yeah.
and then flies back. It's kind of wild.
I mean, I do think, Look, outside of like, professional golfer and, whatever. Like,
Yeah, I think it should be like a non-athlete
yeah.
job, like a legitimate job.
I think that's the one. I don't really have to talk to people, but I get to like be in the know, get access to places I wouldn't be otherwise.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Honestly, like this is going to sound super weird. I would love to be an athletic director for like a major college. Like a Greg Sankey or like, like that, or like not a commissioner, but like, like running Alabama's athletic department.
That'd be sweet because a lot of it you're not.
Dude, you're not hands-on. You're not hands-on. You're shaking hands and kissing babies of all the boosters.
You're
essentially,
a figurehead.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
You're just as much of a fundraiser as you are.
And it's really good money. You get to travel with, it's like, like women's volleyball's in Hawaii. I guess I gotta go.
It'd probably look good if I was there.
Yeah.
It'd look good if I was there.
You know what I mean? And then it's like you're not personally paying for that trip. The college is paying for that trip.
The taxpayers, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always thought about that. Like it'd be a really cool job to have.
It's probably a grind to travel as much as he does, but like Jim Nance has a pretty sweet setup, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking like a sports announcer.
But like not just that, but like you're the guy of the
like
sport.
the
You know what
guy.
I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he the one that gives his tie? March Madness.
He's done with March Madness.
Yeah, he's done now.
No, that's Bill Raftery, isn't it?
No. Jim Nance did his last final.
No, but he's talking about the tie.
Doesn't somebody give their
Bill
tie?
Raftery. Yeah, that's. But yeah, like being a
so
Jim
lame.
Nance, like,
It's so lame.
or like a Mike Tirico, right? Like
Yeah,
he's
you're just like the
he's
guy.
NBC's guy. He
Here's
does
a
everything.
guy.
Like he's gonna do the Olympics, right? Like on NBC,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Being the guy, being the, they set you up in like the nicest hotel. You got private drivers. Like, that would be a pretty sick gig, too.
All right. So, for my real Patio Beers question, what I would love to know about you guys, you have the power to build a little domicile, a condo, house, whatever. You can literally put it anywhere in the world. If you want to put it in Yankee Stadium, you can build you a little condo in right field in Yankee Stadium. Right there, they're hitting balls into your living room. If you want to put it in the White House, you can put one in the White House.
Like just living out back.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
where are you putting your domicile?
So my thought process behind this is instantly goes to weather, like the weather. Like, would I want to live there?
Yeah.
Because like I could think of some really cool places. I think in the summer would be really cool, but I'm like, I kind of already deal with the winter here. I don't want to deal with the winter at this house that I really want to live in.
I mean, it would be pretty sick just to be posted up at Amen Corner. Like 11, 12, like 11, 12 green over there. You have the condo like behind the greens and you're just like house party for the Masters. I mean, that'd be pretty nasty. But I wouldn't want to live in Augusta.
They can't kick you out. They can't kick you out.
No, that's just dude,
you have the power.
It's like I don't think it's true, but I listened to a podcast recently. One of the courses in Scotland, there's literally like a house in the middle of the course, and they've just owned the property since like the 1700s.
They won't sell it.
No, and they just live there. There's like literally a house in the middle of one of these like open rota courses.
Dude, that'd be so cool.
They just They're like, oh, that's just Bill and Sue's house or whatever.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Man, that's so hard. I
mean, I can keep going. Like mine kind of golf related, but like just living in the town of St. Andrews would be sick. You just walk around like the old course is your park that you walk your dog in.
Yeah, on Sundays. Mm-hmm. That'd be pretty cool.
Recency bias, but like Susie and I loved Whitefish, Montana. I could definitely just build a little spot in Whitefish and be content for my life. So,
if I'm going the sports route, like because you kind of already took, I don't want to say Amen Corner or like at Augusta or something like that. I think it'd be really cool to like, for me, like just living in Rupp Arena.
God, yep.
Because then you get the concerts too. They have a sick concert schedule.
They do.
So you're like, oh, basketball is only like 4 months out of the year. Well, the other 7 months, there's like, you get Jay-Z roll through there. You get like, Justin Timberlake was just there like a week ago.
Oh.
And you're obviously
tough scene for him, but still,
this is going to ruin the tour. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
He said to the police officer that arrested him that didn't know who he was, this is going to ruin the tour.
Damn.
And the guy was like, what tour? He goes, the world tour.
That was your
That's
guy.
such a baller thing to
That's
say.
so good.
Dude,
That's-
I love Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, that was your guy you wanted to go out with. Now
I'll
look at
defend
him.
him to the end.
Yeah, that was the wildest
still-
Patio
that's-
Beers
yeah.
answer of all time.
That's so funny that he said that. I read that. I'm like, that's my guy. That's why I want to hang out with him.
I know I'm gonna have
Could
to
you
repost
imagine us
that
getting
clip.
pulled over and it's like, I'm sitting here thinking like, oh my God, who am I going to call, this and that? And he's just like, it's going to ruin the fucking tour.
Tour's
And I'm
off.
like, you know what? You're right, Justin. It's going to fucking ruin the tour. Bastards. They
And
don't know what they're doing.
I don't think people are giving. I don't think you're even thinking right now about like non-men's basketball games, like or concerts, like
Yeah.
even like sports you're not thinking about. Volleyball matches.
Yeah, like you always
women's
would
basketball
have
games,
something going on.
But
like,
wouldn't everybody want to come over and just hang out?
yeah, like
Hey, let's
it's
go.
like, hey,
I
you'll
brought
need to
it.
flip the lights on down there. Like it's a cool
Yeah.
view at night. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
know.
we'll go shoot. We'll go shoot
Yeah.
around.
Is yours at Nippert?
Yeah, I don't have an answer to this one.
Yeah.
I honestly, I may just go like Siesta Key Beach. You guys know I'm a beach guy. I love the beach. 365 days of just beautiful weather is right down Broadway for me. I mean, that would be tough. Obviously, going off of like the Rupp Arena thing, like Fenway Park would be sweet.
Well, I think that'd be pretty cool too.
Because they do concerts as well.
Yeah,
they
they
have a
do.
good Wrigley Field. Oh, Wrigley Field. Wrigley
Take us
Field
back.
would be
I was just
pretty
gonna
sick.
say I might
Like,
just
that
put me on
was-
top of the rooftop.
Yeah,
you know?
Wrigley
And you
Field
could
would be
start
sweet.
you could like start a business. Like we're gonna take
Yeah.
your picture
Yeah.
from up top, like we were doing in our seats.
Take a picture. Yeah, no, I think probably Wrigley Field would be
Yeah, Wrigley Field would be pretty cool.
good. Pretty good.
If I was like going the non-sport route, like I would build a house like right on Duval Street in Key West.
I've never been to Key West.
Dude, it's a.
Me either.
I would build it on the like the wine side or the wine and dinner side of Duval Street because you can always get down to the party side.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'd want to own a house like next to the nude bar, but
fair.
right on Duval Street would be pretty sick.
Depends who's in there, probably.
I'm gonna guess it's not people that any of us want to see naked. So. Just a
Probably not.
fair guess on that.
Yeah, fair assessment. All right, thank you for indulging my two Patio Beers
Yeah.
questions.
No.
Always bringing the heat.
Yeah, thanks.
Those
Thank
were
you for your
good.
service.
Those are really good. Go ahead.
You want me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I don't remember where I saw this, but I saw it. Knew it was a question for this week. The two sportsmen that I'm joined by here.
Thank you.
What sports moment would you most want to relive from your lifetime?
Man, that's it. I think I don't know if it's between two.
Okay,
for
so
sure.
you probably have more to pull from here because I'm going to assume
Not like a ton, but
I know,
like,
but look, you're a fan of some staple franchises, all right? Guenth and I are just deep in the Cincinnati sports scene, which has been bleak during our lives.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think our answers could be a little different, but
I think one of
Maybe
my
not.
answers. I'm going to tell you both of mine. I'm not going to answer right now, but I'm going to tell you both of mine because I think the one would surprise you.
okay.
Oh, so I'm going.
Go.
We're gonna Mount Rushmore this. No, I'm not gonna Mount.
We
Rushmore.
can. I mean,
Okay, I'm gonna Mount Rushmore this
Okay.
thing. Watching my Bearcats run out of the tunnel at the Cotton Bowl at Jerry's World was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was just, and the game obviously didn't go well. I think they played them a lot better than the score showed, but
I think so too. I
Just
agree
couldn't
with that.
score.
yeah, just couldn't score. That's one of them. When they won the game to go, and then we run down on the field, and Chandler's like, "Hey, by the way, they may go to Miami, they may go to Dallas. I've booked hotels in both places. Just FYI." I'm like, "You're the greatest.
That's why she's
I'm
a
gonna
queen.
marry
That
you."
was the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna marry you.
That's why she's an absolute fucking queen right
Yes,
there.
yes. 2012 Belk Bowl. UC is playing Duke. I was the mascot in that game
Nice.
for the University of Cincinnati. We were 9.5 point favorites. We were down 8 points with a minute and 30 left, and we covered in that game. Travis Kelce caught a touchdown, ran all the way down the field, gave me a big hug in the end zone afterwards. Then Malik Bomar sacked the quarterback. Ball went straight up in the air. Nick Temple catches it, runs down, runs through the end zone, hands me the ball afterwards because I celebrated there. That was pretty cool. And then 2012 round of 32, the Bearcats beat Florida State to go to the Sweet 16.
That was a good game.
That was down in Nashville. That was a great game. Great game. So those are probably my favorite sports memories. I don't know if you were asking like sports that I played or if it was like just as a fan.
Yes.
And then the like
you've already rushed more
God tier.
So this is God tier now. Okay.
Being in Paul Brown Stadium with my dad when the Bengals beat the Oakland Raiders.
Dude, that was so cool. I was there too.
Yeah,
and
first playoff win.
And I'm like a noted
years.
Packers fan, but like I told you guys, I root for the Bengals as long as they're not playing the Packers. Yeah. And as just a general Cincinnati sports fan, dude, I'm like, okay, if this can happen for the Bengals, this can definitely happen for the Reds. Yeah. Like it made me hopeful. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it made me really, really hopeful.
Yeah, and then my queen Chandler had a video of my dad and I when that interception happened.
Such a cool.
Like that will never be not multiple backed on my phone. And, I mean, it's the best.
Yeah. She'd probably get burned on a CD at the DVD or something.
Yeah, you can put that on a hard drive somewhere.
Sorry, I always feel really long-winded at the Patio Beers, but that's what the patio is about.
Yeah, it's all hashing it out.
There's no time. Time doesn't exist on the patio.
So I got now that I started thinking about it, I probably got like 3 or 4. My first one,
Mount Rushmore again.
My first one it was like just kind of how it happened. Jay Bruce hitting that home run against the Astros to clinch the division.
That's such a deep pool, but a good one.
I was not at the game, but I was watching on TV because I was in college at that point. Same. I was in Tiffin. And dude, I know it's kind of hard. They always say it's hard to like hear how loud the crowd is when you're watching on TV. You could feel how loud that crowd was when that happened. That walk-off home run was like legit. Probably the peak of the iceberg. It kind of slowly went downhill after that happened.
That's the peak of the Reds.
Yeah, it might be.
In my lifetime.
Yeah, it might be in our lifetime. I don't know
when you guys were born.
90. So they won. I was 7 months old when they won the last World Series.
I wasn't a year old yet.
I mean, that's the peak of our Reds fandom.
What you remember. Yeah. That was a really, really, really cool moment. I remember watching and like being away from college. I'm a little homesick. You know what I mean? It's like there was one of my roommates was a Reds fan, and like we're just like high-fiving in the living room, like going fucking crazy. I'm trying to think. So the next one would be the Packers Super Bowl against the Steelers. And the only reason I would say I want to relive it, I got my wisdom teeth pulled that Friday. I was so high on painkillers the second half because I was like, I'm not going to take painkillers. I want to remember this game. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I got to halftime. I have to take them. Like, I'm in so much pain. Like, I might not even be able to enjoy the second half. I remember like 3 plays of the second half. I've had to go watch it like 4 or 5 times just to like remember. Like, I remember, this is going to sound crazy. Here's the 3 plays I remember from the second half. Mendenhall fumbling. The pass that Aaron Rodgers threw past the back of the linebacker's head that went to Jordy Nelson for a touchdown. And then I remember the last drive. Like 3 plays of the last drive. And like the Steelers trying to come. That's it. That's all I remember. That's all I remember.
So you would like to just purely live this sports moment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's one I would love to have back. Like, and this is, dude. I wanted to wait. I just couldn't do it. Like I was gonna like pass out in pain.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't take anything. So and like regular Tylenol was just not gonna cut it. 2012, Kentucky won the national championship. I was sad. My grandpa was still alive at this point. Had Alzheimer's. We witnessed a couple together, but like 96 we did, and 98 we did. But I would have loved like knowing that's going to be the last national championship we have together.
Yeah,
I'd have loved to have been in town, like because I was in college when it happened. That would have been really cool to relive. Like if I could have came down here and like relived that with him. Because that's who got me into Kentucky basketball. It was him.
Yeah.
And my last one, personally, when I won our conference championship my senior year.
Yes.
I hit probably the best bunker shot. I had a 2-shot lead going the last hole. Got into a greenside bunker. The bunkers were iffy, and I hit like the best bunker shot of my life. Like went to like 4 feet, made the putt, came off the green, hugged my mom. Like it kind of felt like everything they'd done for me and all that. Like it led up to that moment, and it was like a really cool moment. And I remember my mom was like, "I don't know if I can get off. Like I'm going to try to come up." She ended up making it, and then that I ended up winning. I thought that was a really I'd love to go back to that moment.
Damn. Just pulling at the heartstrings here. It's cool.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Isn't that what
awesome.
sports is though? Like you and your dad, like
Yeah.
you and your mom, you and your dad, like grandpa, whatever. Like I feel like that's
It's a connector, right?
Yeah.
That's all it is. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys have a golf podcast.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, and that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
You know, you're talking about your rounds, and sports is a connector, just like food, music.
Yep,
It's
exactly.
The same thing.
All right, well, you guys gave out 4, so I jotted down 4 while I was sitting here. Bengals Raiders game is up there for me. I was at my own house watching it. Ryan was there, and the moment the interception happened, I literally picked him up like he was a small child and threw him on my back.
Easy to do for him, but
And did like 4 or 5 laps around the main floor of our house, like just insane, like vibes through the roof. And then honestly, they proceeded to just go on. Obviously, they went to the run
like
of
an
the Super
absolute
Bowl.
fucking heater.
I mean,
like,
the
literally.
McPherson kicks were just against the Titans, against the Chiefs. Like, I mean,
Joe Burrow just kept getting sacked.
just 9 times or whatever against. I mean, yeah, it was crazy. Anyway, that whole run was on its own level.
So fun.
So I was at. I think this is. You can correct me. I think it was against Rutgers. The Brent Selleck touchdown.
Mm-hmm. That was
Where-
like 2006, 7.
Yeah.
There.
Was at that game,
Mhm.
and just being in that stadium, like nip at night. Selleck
Was
is
that
just
like the Ray Rice Rutgers team?
I think so.
Yeah, they were really good.
The Greg Schiano Rutgers team? Like the original ones?
And he's just like God mode down the field, running over people into the end zone for the win. And that was an electric atmosphere. UC football again. Armand Ben's catch against Pitt.
That was a really good catch.
I wasn't there. I
Okay.
was watching, but I also had Dan Horde, like the Dan Horde call on that play. Like,
And
that's the
correct
Sugar
me if
Bowl
I'm
year?
wrong, that was the same day that like the Texas
Yes.
Nebraska thing
Oh
happened.
my God, that was
Exactly.
another
I was
game
watching
just
that in my
insane.
basement with my dad, and we flipped over to Texas, and like, oh my God, like UC's going to play for a national championship.
Yeah.
And then they put time back on the clock for Texas.
What are you going to
Got
do?
to.
Got to.
And then we got our asses beat by Tim Tebow.
The stories that have come out from that where it's like, yeah, somebody's dad was like a high school football coach, and they like brought him to the game to help coach.
Dude.
It was
Yeah,
insane.
Brian Kelly leaves. Like, this is the whole thing, right? Whatever.
Like dads were on the sideline.
I think I'm just a golf purist through and through. Like the 2019 Masters, it's like the only sporting event that has made me actually cry. Like watching Tiger win the Masters.
Yeah,
in
that was
2019,
such a good moment.
After being a Tiger fan from the time I can remember sports watching, and then him with Charlie obviously after, and having my own kid at that time, like they would just all hit different at that moment. So I think I'd definitely want to go back and relive that moment too. But yeah,
Excellent. That's a good question.
it's a great question. I wish I had more moments where I was like in the physical space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good thing about sports. Like sometimes, like even if you're not,
You're
you
not.
feel like you are there.
Yeah.
And
You know
wherever
what I mean?
you are, it still impacts you the same way. Like,
I mean, I probably undersold just now the 2 times I went to Augusta for a practice round. That would be a fun thing to do again, but just a practice round.
Yeah.
you guys got to get some media credentials and get down there.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Maybe one day.
I got ghosted by the PGA of America this year.
They big time.
They answered us.
They did answer us.
I put the request in. They're like, "Hey, we'll get back to you. We'll put you on the list. We'll get back to you here in a month." Crickets. Just got to keep knocking on that
Yeah.
door.
Hey guys,
baby.
just wanted to follow up. Just
Yeah.
want to circle back on
Hey,
this.
the tournament
Justin
starts
plays in a lot of
tomorrow.
section events. Like, does that get us any leeway into getting this.
You guys know Sean Arthur?
Yeah. Oh, God. All right. So mine's, I guess, maybe not so much famous people. Who was a famous person you met one time and you were like so pumped to meet them, and then they just turned out to be a gigantic asshole?
Oh man,
I don't know if I've met any famous people, to be honest with you.
Like athletes, anything like that. Could be a politician too. Like you're like, oh man, I really like this guy, and you meet him, you're like, fuck him. Like,
well,
I'd imagine most politicians.
like just like blow you off, whatever. Like, you know what I mean?
Like I said, I don't think
I
I've
like
had
that
many
it's making you
run-ins.
think.
I was at my cousin was the guitar tech for Trace Adkins. I don't know how
That's a dream job right there.
Yeah, he went on tour with them, did everything. And we went to, a buddy and I and my mom went to one of his concerts. I forget where it was. May have been down in Louisville. And it was Trace Adkins was a headliner. Dierks Bentley
Oh, God.
was there as
That
well.
was a while ago then.
And then Kelly Pickler was the opener. And we sat next to the stage for this concert. I mean, we were like, didn't have anything in front of us. Like, hey, just stand over there and enjoy the show. And Kelly Pickler finishes and walks off stage, and we went back and went to the bathroom back behind the stage. And as we're coming out, like, she's walking right by, and I'm like, hey, can I get a picture with you? And she was such a jerk. She was like, make it fast.
Really?
Yeah. Make it fast. She was so rude. That's the only one that really comes to my mind. I try to not, anytime I see people, I try to not like.
That's my thing. I'm more like kind of like, oh my God, look at so-and-so, you know, whatever these.
Jeremy Piven. I met Jeremy Piven at the Roosevelt Room.
I've heard he's a big
He's not
asshole.
a friendly guy. He was not
It's
friendly.
so disappointing because obviously,
I
noted,
love Ari Gold.
Our favorite show is Entourage.
I mean, just look at all the characters he's played. I think you could probably decipher that, you know?
Yeah, he played the dean in Old
Cheese.
School. I got out. He wasn't friendly.
I would say, so senior year of high school, I won this like community like scholar athlete of the year
Of course
award.
you
And it was like
fucking did.
like $100 savings bond that was worth like $50 or whatever in 15 years. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, the like keynote speaker at this small little ceremony we did was Xavier men's basketball head coach Sean Miller.
Oh shit!
Yes.
I've
Let's
heard.
Go. Come on, Mitch. More. Give me more.
And
Give me more. I need this.
I've heard from a couple other people.
Oh, yes.
He
yes.
basically walked into the room, gave a little spiel for 5 minutes, and just left, like without hiring or buying anybody or nothing.
He
Like,
gave the Irish goodbye in public.
yeah, just straight up, just a complete nothing burger for any of us in the room. It was very inspiring. I mean, obviously.
If you knew you were dealing with a guy that was going to get indicted on wire fraud charges, you would have
Precisely,
known
I
better.
think.
At
What
that
happened
point.
to that? He's clear? He's
Yeah,
all
he
good?
got cleared, but
Somebody else, Book took the fall? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Book?
oh,
Wasn't that
yeah.
the guy's name?
Yeah, someone else took the fall for him.
The Pope.
Yeah. Oh God, that's a good one.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Mitch. I needed that
You're
today.
welcome. I thought you would enjoy that one.
My big one, dude. I met Pete Rose at like 12 years old.
Oh, dude, he's a horrible person.
Dirtbag.
No.
Absolute.
You mean Pete Rose is a bad guy?
Absolute dirtbag. Honestly, puts a bad name on the West Side. I mean, just an unbelievably biggest bag of dirt you could ever meet. And it was sad because, you know, my favorite number is 14.
You still have your golf balls number 14.
Still
to this day.
14. Like, I'm just going to act like that never happened.
Yeah.
That he's not a dirtbag. But, like, dude, and it's so funny. Like, people would warn me, like, when you meet him, like, you're probably going to hate him now. Like, it's probably better you haven't met him.
There is not a single good I met Pete Rose story.
No,
Everybody-
everybody's like, he's the biggest fucking jerk in the world.
But
Or he's like, or it'll be like a story like, well, he was so fucking drunk when I met him. Like, he was like slurring his words or whatever.
But there's some sort of like, he's our guy. He's a Cincinnati guy. And he's a West Sider, man. That's just how the West Siders are. You know, it's not.
We do have a little grit to us here in Cincinnati.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
we do. But, like, there's a difference between being gritty and being a dirtbag.
Exactly. And he's a dirtbag. And, like, every single story that has ever come out about him, like, outside of, he played baseball really hard. Like, he played hard.
That's
the only good stories about
like
him.
That's why I always go back to him not being in the Hall of Fame. It's like if he like became this guy that was like doing community outreach and this and that and like being like a generally good person, I think they probably at some point would have been like, dude, let's let this guy, like, he learned from his mistake. Yes. He's still trying to be a good person. Like, let's just let him in. But no, he goes out to Vegas, charges like $150 for a fucking autograph, which is worthless because he signed
everything.
Literally fucking everything. It's a common theme with him. Dirtbag moves. Like, I genuinely think if he was like a good person, like did all this stuff, they probably would have let him in at some point. But they're just like, fuck this. He doesn't get it before he dies. Like, I swear, like, he'll pass away and they're like, all right, we're putting Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
Like, they're just like, you don't deserve this. Yeah. Like, because you're a dirtbag. So
that's why they say, never meet your heroes, right?
I've had a run-in with Patrick Cantlay.
Oh.
Yeah. It was the practice round. Took my daughter up there.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's signing flags. It's the practice round. Like, and he was, like, making the turn. Like, it wasn't like he was into his round and, like, trying to figure out a green. It wasn't like we were, like, trying to hassle him while he was practicing putting. He was literally, like, walking between the ropes, going between holes. And my daughter was, like, the only kid sitting right there. And he just, like, bypasses her. Mind you, everybody else, Tony Finau, Sandra Shoffley, Rory, Jordan, like, they all stopped making the turn. They all stopped, signed stuff. He was the only one that didn't. It was so bad. His caddy comes out of the turn tent, looks at me and says, I'm sorry, I'll get this signed. Takes the flag from us, takes it in the tent. You kind of hear some like back and forth happening, and then he brings the flag back out signed.
Forged.
It was forged. Yeah, absolutely. No, when I was probably her age, my dad took me up to the memorial, and Jack would still play an entire practice round. And
he's not very friendly.
I yelled out at him. I was like, hey, Jack, will you sign this? I signed my flag. I'm playing a round of golf right now.
Oh, damn.
Hit me back with that.
Yeah.
And then Retief Goosen was in the next group, and I yelled at him, and he was like, come out here. We walked all the way down. I forget what hole it was.
Because Retief is a good guy.
What a guy.
I've heard that about Jack. Like, I know some people have met him, and they're like, Arnold Palmer's way cooler to me.
I mean,
they're just like, you want to talk about like growing up in the general same region and just being completely different people. Because Jack's from Pittsburgh, right? Like Midwest kind of feel,
You mean Arnie?
Yeah.
Arnie's
from Pittsburgh. That's what I'm saying. Like Arnie, but they're from the same region, right? Like they should kind of have the same values and be laid back. Completely different people.
I do like that.
Now one all-time major winner, and the other one like won some majors. And he's a great golfer, but it's like maybe that got to his head. I don't know.
I do like that, like this conversation, because you never hear this type of conversation.
No.
Pardon My Take always does this, and they talk about Dan Marino.
Yeah, I've heard Dan Marino. Like,
think of a jerk.
I've read enough stories about him that they're like, he's a fucking asshole.
They recorded an entire podcast with him. They're like, we can't air it.
Oh my God.
Dude, he's just so bitter from never winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's
like we can't air this pod.
He is seriously so bitter about never winning a Super Bowl. Like, I think he just treats everybody like shit at this point.
Yep.
Yeah, I think those are the two big ones. Like Patrick Cantlay and Pete Rose are the two big ones.
Yeah, that's
good.
Because like everybody else, like Barry Larkin's my favorite Red of all time. Outside of Pete, the ones I've actually got to see play, right? Like Barry was in our age, when we were watching baseball, started watching baseball. Couldn't have been nicer. Saw him in an elevator last year, right after a game. he's in a hurry. He's doing Reds radio. He's in a hurry to get out of there. Hey, Barry, can I get a picture? Oh, dude, absolutely. Like,
Yeah,
hands
he's
the phone
great.
over. He took like probably 20 other pictures for people. Like after I asked him. Zach Taylor, another one, dude. Super nice guy. Super awesome about it. Sat there and talked to us for like 10 minutes. Like he's trying to buy golf clubs. Like, yeah, there's not everybody's bad, but the bad ones always stick out in your head.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me that Jeremy Piven.
Yeah,
Like he's kind of an asshole.
he was not friendly at all, which was devastating.
Super devastating.
Devastating.
Those are good questions. I liked it.
Good job,
That was good.
everyone. Yeah, that was fun.
Well, speaking of the good ones, Gunn, thank you for joining us tonight, buddy.
Oh, wow. Thanks, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
I appreciate
thanks for
it.
coming.
And for hosting the boil yesterday, like I said,
Hey, it's
Double
it's
duty
all,
this week.
It's all just Stampede week.
it is.
It's all just Stampede week is all it
It's
is.
part of the process.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I mean, this is I love coming on anytime. I would love to
Can't
join and
can't go noted that. Thank you to Chandler for allowing you to come out here tonight to do this.
yeah, she's Ferda
She's single momming it back home with Gus.
with Gus. Yeah. She
Damn,
did
after
say
a
like
long
is
day.
Gus she was like, is Gus gonna get a shout out on the pod? So
There he is.
Thank
the
you
Gus
for that.
bus. He was
Shout out
he was
Gus.
playing cleanup on the floor.
he
last
was
night.
all over it.
He was like the boil mascot.
He was good. He was a good boy.
Runs in the family.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. It is Stampede Week. We're going to play some golf this weekend. Hopefully some winning golf this weekend.
Hopefully we come back on here Monday and we're like we were in the finals together. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping next,
I hope we kick the crap out of you.
That's fun, too,
Well, I didn't say I wanted you to win if that happened, did I?
And on that note, please subscribe, rate, and review the show. Send us a text with that link in the description. Follow us on social media at Back96Pack. We'll see you next week for a Stampede recap. Cheers.
See ya.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Back 9 Six Pack. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Back 9 Six Pack for all your content needs. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.